Hello, future VVets, and welcome to Viz Vibes. I'm your host, Bella, and I am so excited to be with you today. Tune in to hear firsthand stories from our wonderful faculty and staff about what it means to be a true Viz student. We have a wonderful show planned for you, and I can't wait for you to meet our special guest. Give a warm welcome to Miss Fitzgibbon from our counseling department.
Thanks, Bella.
Thank you so much for joining me.
For sure.
I always enjoy visiting you and excited to learn about our comprehensive counseling program, which brings me to my first question. What exactly do you mean by comprehensive counseling programs?
Okay, it's a good question because it is unique at Visitation that we have a comprehensive counseling program. So what it means in short is that as students enter Visitation in ninth grade, they are assigned a counselor that they stay with for all 4 years, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And this counselor is to support the students for everything from social to emotional needs to college applications and the college search process to academic assistance, basically anything. So we really try to get to know the girls from the first day that they step foot onto campus, as well as we hope that there's a level of comfort that they're able to come to see us when they're in need to.
So what are the main goals of the Visitation Counseling Program?
The main goals, I'd say, when we think about our motto, be who you are and be that well, that's what we live by in the counseling department. Because when we're thinking about how we're working with the girls as they enter ninth grade, we start with an orientation. We want the girls to feel comfortable, get to know each other, make friends, have fun. I mean, high school should be enjoyable, and it should also be what's right for each individual student academically, and then helping them find their areas that they want to get involved in. So when you think about like our counseling motto, it's be who you are and be that well, and what can we do to help you get there? So are you getting involved in ninth grade? Are you doing your best academically? Are you finding that balance? Are you finding that happiness? And that will translate to then 10th grade. Can I get further involved in my activities? Can I take on leadership positions? And then junior year, we start to talk a little bit about the next steps in college. We don't want to talk about it from ninth grade because it's a little too early in the process, but they're setting the groundwork to be successful when they graduate.
When do Viz students begin working with their counselor, and for how long?
Okay, so they start working with their counselor actually from day one. So we start that orientation process, and we are their go-to person from ninth grade all the way through graduation for all of those things that I mentioned before.
Perfect. What benefits have you seen from our relational approach to counseling?
I'd say the benefits is because we're comprehensive and it is a relational approach and they're getting to know us and we're getting to know them throughout the 4 years, that they're able to come to us with anything that they need throughout the 4 years. Whether that is, I need some help on understanding what are the right classes to take, what's going to give me the balance, how do I get involved? I'm having some struggles here. As much as we like to think that 14 through 18 is going to be a breeze, it's high school. So you want to be able to help somebody work through their conflict and to empower them so that when they graduate, they're feeling really strong and independent to be able to tackle college and be very successful away from home.
How early would you say Viz begins our college counseling?
Well, formally and informally, I'm going to give an answer to this because informally, students are starting college counseling from the day that they are stepping foot onto campus because we want them to get involved. They're developing their resume activities. They're discovering who they are, what they want to be involved in, and what they like and don't like. So sometimes getting involved in some activities or clubs or athletics or theater or whatever is right for that particular student. Maybe they're going to discover that they really like something or they really don't. And then that takes them in the direction of like making the next step, making the next move. But we're not talking college at this point. It's too early.
Yeah.
They just came to Viz.
Exactly.
So we want them to enjoy high school. And the college process should be very fun because it's all about figuring out where you're going to go. Kind of like the girls are figuring out where they want to go to high school. You should have an enjoyable experience in high school to be the best person you can be, academically and socially, to get you to the next level. And so that's how we're approaching it informally for the first 2 years. And then formally, college counseling starts in junior year.
Okay. What types of colleges do our students attend?
Okay, good question. So if you're expecting an answer of like, oh, the Viz students are going to this type of institution, there isn't going to be that answer.
Perfect.
Students are attending all different types of schools. So when I think about last year's class, we had 85 students that are attending 50 plus schools from all over the United States. I think about 30 states, and actually one in Canada. And then one pursued professional ballet because that was right for her. We've had students who have attended college in St. Andrews in Scotland. We've had students who have attended college in Singapore. So whatever is right for the student is right for is the college match. Our motto is college is a match to be made and not a prize to be won.
All right, so as a senior who is currently going through the entire college process,
Right.
I can attest to the level of support that we as students receive.
Thank you, Bella.
In your opinion, what is the strength of our counseling department?
I'd say that we approach it that it should be an enjoyable process and a fun process because it really is about, as you've experienced, like, where do I want to spend the next 4 years of my life? What's going to get me to my career or the grad school, professional school, and working backwards and thinking about all the options that are available to you. And then taking it part by part. How do I find out what's available to me? How do I discover what I want, which might be drastically different from my friends? And then starting to look at a balanced list of schools where I know that I can be happy at any one of them upon when I get my acceptances back. So it's taking it part by part and enjoying the process along the way.
Thank you. And what are some ways you and your colleagues help minimize the stress of the college process for seniors and some juniors, but also just minimize stress amongst Viz students as a
In
whole?
general?
Yeah.
I'd say we kind of have a team mentality. So that ends up being something that not just the counseling department, but I mean, we think about there are other people that are involved in the college process. It's not just the student is putting forth her application, and then the support comes from teachers are writing recommendations, counselors are writing recommendations. It's really having a holistic approach to supporting that student and making sure that she's feeling like her best application is put forward and hitting the deadlines to make sure she's getting scholarships, making sure that she feels comfortable with any questions that she's had along the line to be able to reach out to her counselor. Like, I know you, Bella, and you're not in my part of the alphabet, right?
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yes.
right. So our department works as a team. So I have my primary group of students and so do my colleagues. But anytime a student needs something, we're there to help.
And lastly, Ms. Fitzgibbon, what is your favorite aspect of working at Visitation Academy?
My favorite aspect. So whether you know this or not, I'm in my 13th year. Okay, so I wouldn't be here if I didn't love Viz. And I don't know if I have a favorite aspect, but what I can say that I really enjoy about Viz is I love the girls here. I think that you all are absolutely fabulous. You have different gifts that you bring to the table. You celebrate each other. You treat each other with dignity. And we're a small community. I feel like everybody's looking out for each other and making sure that we're helping you all be the best that you can be so that when you graduate, there's a sense of pride going to Visitation. And then it's like lift off to the next step. It's like making sure that you're going to be thriving and successful upon graduation. But the whole culture, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Fitzgibbon. Tune in to hear more stories from our wonderful faculty and staff.